All right, so this is actually going to be a real action-packed little episode here, all right, where I'm going to be discussing some things because I got a lot to say, right? You figure you're coming out of a Breaking Bad type situation. There's going to be lasting strings. You're going to be ripping the scars of this life are going to be healing over lots of time, lots of little scars, right? Little threads and haunts, are going to be sort of a small little army of banshees around the person, right? So this is the field of dreams right here. I'm coming to you from the mountains of Panama. Yep, that's Central America, Panama. And so what I'm going to talk about today, all right, is one of the most horrible things that can happen to a person in this life, all right? And that's worse than being a throwaway kid. I would say I'd be in the category of more of a throwaway kid, right? But then there's the abused kid, the trapped kid, Abuse comes in so many forms. And we've heard all kinds of different horror stories throughout the years, about kids who get trapped and abused, right? We're starting to figure out, we can be programmed, man. We can be trapped in a box where we're blind to stuff and we see certain stuff in a very skewed way because culture should have us see it that way, right? So, I think about making content that's valuable. I have real stories to tell about Albuquerque, New Mexico, and likely exactly some of the characters that Breaking Bad is based on. But the true stories are pretty much ride with some of it is a little bit more crazier than the show, and you just can't. A writer couldn't come up with it, that real edge, right? And I have a lot of real stories to tell. And it just turns out I am actually a bona fide legend in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hundreds of people can tell you that, And I tell people, I started like, I'm the real V from the movie, right? Like, I started being locked up by my mother so that she could get a paycheck off of my head and not have to do her job. I was the youngest one in those places. I was the youngest one breaking out. And tons of people can tell you, when I was out running with people 4, 5, 6 years older than me, most of my tightest people are in that, they could tell you back when we started hanging out, everybody was like, where the fuck is this kid's mother? And it was like, so anyway, but that's how you get real stories, man. You get real hardships. Your scars become your bars. And that's the value that I can give and so what I'm thinking about is delivering value and talking about some of the most important things that I have to deal with now. And I'm going to just go ahead and do that here on the second episode. Episode 3, we'll get back to stories. And I'll just keep doing that, man, because it's worth it. Because this child entrapping that's going on with about probably 50 million kids, it goes under this clinical title, Parental Alienation. That's a mislabeling for kidnapping and brainwashing with the intention for this kid to hate their other parent. 50 Cent's oldest son is the best example for this. Your dad is 50 Cent, genius. Look at his relationship with his other kid. You know what I mean? Because you, and yes, you're an adult now because you let yourself be weaponized by a witch. We all know, everyone who can look at that situation knows that child's mother is a fucking witch. Weaponized him, lied, tried to destroy this man because he wanted to be free of the fucking psycho. And they always use your reaction against you. The reaction to the kidnapping and brainwashing is always used against you. No, it matters who starts it. It really does, you know. You can't be starting shit. And whatever you get after you start it is really on you. Whatever happens to that kid that and what people need to know is it's contact denial. All right. And every single case almost, the mother's lying about the reason that they are unilaterally denying contact, still expecting money from, but denying contact of the, you know what I mean? Or weaponizing that contact, right? Where, okay, you guys are going to have contact, but here's what it's going to go. You know, I'll never forget, after my kid was kidnapped the second time for 3 months, I was like, fuck. I had to pay all this money to get her back through the courts. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take her to Disney World this last trip, make it good, you know, so we can reconnect on a good note. Her mother had chopped off all her hair before we went and weaponized her so much during that 3-month time that she ran off into a crowd. She would have never done this. Everybody knows us together over hundreds of visits every other weekend, every other summer, every other weekend, right? Every other holiday, you know. And I took up all my residences near her out after I was deployed with the military, near her. So, and I established in places not knowing anyone, you know, no support system. And I built a small empire, and colleagues that were knocking it at my level were visiting me on private jets, have visited me 3 times already in Panama on private jets and in big groups and all that, right? So, and I talk about the last episode that's coming from Argentina, a lot about all these things. But now I'm going to talk about this parental alienation thing, all right? And I had looked at some notes just the other day, and this is a big mistake. When you have your kid kidnapped and brainwashed to hate you, and you're a valiant Papa Bear father that would do anything to protect the child, well, don't read all the specialists' information, because then you'll understand it, and your anger level will be that much worse because you will understand the child abuse that much more. Well, not only did I understand it, but she did too, because I sent her all the videos of those specialists explaining how insane the damage was. She knows. She told me straight up. I was like, what are you going to do? Brainwash the child on Facebook, you know, to fucking hate me? I'm her idol. Like, she can't stop talking about me. If you're going to brainwash that in reverse, she liked it. A fucking fuse blew at that moment, straight up. And I was on the floor for about 2 weeks straight. I looked at my feet. I told myself to go piss. I didn't piss on the floor, and I didn't go to the bathroom. I remember sitting there having a conversation with my feet saying, you got to get up. I was in literal coma. And then in the rain, this girl's throwing these rocks at, her name's Carolina. Her name's in the cutoff letter, where the mom's cutting me off from the kids, saying, you don't get to talk to her anymore. You know, I hope Carolina realizes how sick you, all this bullshit. She's the sick one. This person is a child abusing piece of garbage. And all the lies she's filled this kid with, the kid tells me, I know they're true. And I know what you're saying is a lie. It's fucking crazy. You know, and, you know, her mom has done a masterpiece of fucking child abuse on this poor child. And, people that would never do that to her, me, my dad, my sister, good people, you know. But she doesn't want nothing to do with us. And she's fucking, she says, she's afraid I'm gonna brainwash her. She's already been brainwashed. She won't listen to nothing I say. Anyway, it's classic textbook parental alienation situation, a clinical mistitling of kidnapping and brainwashing for the purposes of hate. So these people, when they're in the car together all that, they are stroking the spirit of this child. They're reaching inside and stroking and magnetizing the spirit of this child against their other half. Their other half that would not do this to them. Their other half that despises this action. The other half that fucking to the bone does not accept, put up with child abuse just because they know that that's how that person is and this is the worst way to hurt them. Because of their fucking good principles. That's what everyone needs to understand. And I'm dropping gems in this parental alienation subject that are not dropped because I understand it more because my mother's the same fucking piece of shit. I had a Freudian thing, you know? So, and she didn't weaponize me. She just fucking had me locked up in spots so she could get money off of me. And then I got fucking tough. And I broke out. And then I did epic things in Albuquerque. And I'm a fucking, you know, like I just said, told you, you know, I'm a known character who pulled off some shit. I'm actually in the Albuquerque, New Mexico Hall of Fame. You know, I am a known character under 4 different names. All right? And people know that it's, so just please. And I can put you on the phone with tons of people. I've done it before. We'll call them all up for a couple of days and they'll tell you who I really am. And, you know, this pedigree check can be done. That's another thing I want to push on people is you really cannot listen to anything that anyone else is saying right now about anything. You've got to really investigate. In fact, whatever they're saying, you want to investigate because the biggest, most important thing you can do in life is quickly discern. We don't fuck around where I come from. We need to find out who we can talk in front of and who we cannot trust as far as you could fucking throw the building. You know what I'm saying? And you need to be able to make that discernment. And if you can't make that discernment, you are fucked. All right? So that's A6 basics, man. You gotta, all right? In my school, you have to hold the child back intellectually for as long as you possibly can to continue to pull the fucking wool over their eyes. Listen to me, everyone watching this, you will never pull the wool over anybody's fucking eyes forever. That is a temporary black hole that you are not causing other people to fall into. You are falling into that. You will lie to yourself. You will steal from yourself. You steal from other people. Karma is real. This shit is adding up on you, man. Fucking everything is recorded. Stop whatever in the closet, all that, man. You need to live a clean life. There's no one we respect more. There is no one we need more right now than people who get up early, do their push-ups, concentrate on their diet, concentrate on their fitness, on their mental clarity so they're not becoming a liability rather than an asset. You know, everybody's got to really, really step it up. And if you can answer the call, definitely, you know, follow my channel. I'm just doing this little by little. I've made several different attempts. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing too much, but I know I'm talking the truth. I know I'm harder than most of the people around me. And, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I know that I've been on a crazy story that has to be told. I know that there's one 21-year-old right now that lives under the control of a witch. And it's like most of the kids that are being used by this person, by their mothers, most mothers, right? By their full custodians. Man, you have to look this up. This is incredible black magic. It is an insane witchcraft. If you want to kill control freaks and not go to jail, you can go to voodoo, VOODOO, breaker.com, voodoobreaker.com. Kill control freaks, don't go to jail. Anyway, so when I know that when in extreme injustice, child abuse, I continue to watch it. I continue to watch it to be effective. Talk about all challenges or opportunities to build strength. Oh, this is the strength I would have never wanted to build, but hello. Now I'm on the other side of it. 13 fucking years later, after I was on the floor. So it's been a long road. And dentro, that's the journey. Inside of that voyage, I lived in the jungle of Panama. I lived in the jungle of Colombia. I lived in the jungle of Costa Rica. I traveled, I studied, but I stayed a part of people. I have nicknames in each different place, you know? So, in Costa Rica, I'm the shovel punisher. And, no, I was just playing. Oh, that's true, you know? People would, and it was like that. That was a perfect nickname, actually. Like, it's just leave that fucking dude alone. Get a bunch of shovels, whatever fucking backhoe work you need back there where you can't get a backhoe, he's gonna do it, you know, for a good price. And we'll give him extra because he's a good guy. And I had so listen, it was a double-edged sword. It was an incredibly beautiful journey. I divorced humanity. I did not have a cell phone. I did not have a bank account. I was fucked up in the head. Schizophrenic, PTSD out the fucking wazoo, you know, and that actually over 2 prior kidnappings was just getting chiseled at by this fucking bitch. And that's another thing people don't understand. Anyone who's using the kid, it's not like they used them once. They've been using them for years. They've been making this kid the voodoo doll and this witchcraft to destroy this man. That's exactly what it is. But I just want to point out a Jimi Hendrix lyric that I was standing next to a mountain and I chopped it down with the edge of my hand. Now, being someone who was locked up by their mother, most of the time just looking at a fucking wall, I had a little radio with an antenna. Thank God for the Edge and the Arrow radio stations, right? Anyway, that was it, man. It was me and music. And people will tell you I live in my headphones now. You know, I just don't even want to listen to anyone's fucking bullshit. I know how rare diamond people are. And I know it takes one to know one. So when I'm looking in hindsight, 2020, at your fucking ill-formed, fucking undeveloped personality and ability system, I'm like, yeah, you can't run with me. I'll listen to you for a minute, but I'm not taking it in. I don't want to become you. I don't want to you know what I mean? If I believe in anything you say, I'm liable to fucking look and behave like you do. So, you know, it's a solo fucking thing anyway, once you've been through enough shit. And you're an honest person through it all, and you're tough enough. You know what I mean? Then, yeah, if you want to just go fucking prance around with the fake fucks, have fun. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people doing that. It's very rare, you know, to come out trying to make some valuable content and show the light on some of the shit. A lot of people just don't give a fuck about themselves or anyone else. I care immensely about the world, about the ecology, about the planet, nutritionaldiversity.com, about your health, about your well-being. And as Edmund Burke has stated very profoundly, and has resonated throughout film and music and art fucking heavily, is the only thing evil needs to prevail is for good men to do nothing. So I'm doing something. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I've got bad breaking stories that will blow your fucking mind, and they're real, and this has to be the fucking circus that they heard about and came to Albuquerque because honestly, they made another drug dealer show at the same time about kidnapping called Sons of Anarchy. And the fucking people that kidnapped my kid were actually obsessed with the show. They were the kidnappers. I was the one on the floor. There was actually a scene in the show of me on the floor to them as they did this shit. It's fucking like, you know, anyway. I was sending them professionals explaining how fucked up it was as the witch and the flying monkeys just proceeded to fucking continue this shit on for a decade, stalking my girlfriend, her new husband, everybody that fucking I know, sending this library of fucking lies that my daughter now knows is true, or my sperm donation, according to her, knows is true, even though I served in the military to... This fucking lady's mother is filling out forms saying she used meth and drank alcohol and in the room to get a $500 research grant paycheck thing. I'm fucking sleeping there. She's staying at her parents down the street. I'm not allowed, right? The fuck, oh dude, it's been forever. She's been using this fucking thing while showing up at the house unannounced, setting up the pregnancy. 2 months after I fucking avoided her and tell her I don't want nothing to do with you, you know? And, because I had figured out what fucking psycho she is. I mean, look now. Anyway. Anti-Alienation Project. I'm going to tag her in this. You know, the thing this is going to be Albuquerque stories, all the Breaking Bad, but this is super important. And I got a little bit to say here about this. So she didn't realize that any attempt her father would make would result in the mother putting a new threat against her. Again, these are voodoo dolls to fucking exact hate and revenge. And they can listen, the mother of my kid knows that, and this is why she tries so hard to prevent it, that if my kid was to come run with me for 2 weeks, she would be like, holy fuck, this is great. My dad puts it together awesome. My dad is awesome. This is fucking not the person I thought it was. And I think, and she would start to see that I'm the realest motherfucker there is. And that's my one thing that everyone will say about me. That guy, you just know that he's not going to lie. He's going to tell you what he fucking thinks. And he doesn't give a shit about how you feel because you're not helping anyone, enabling them. You're not helping anyone, catering to their fucking weak points. Oh, it's okay. Just come watch this Netflix, smoke this reefer. Let's just escape this whole fucking thing and talk shit and be low-level operational life forms. No. The only difference, this is what I'm pointing out. What you have to understand is you cannot settle. You cannot settle for less. If you're climbing the fucking journey to the top and you're just like, oh, this is good enough. That's it. And it's on you. And again, I'm telling you, because I've been through enough shit, you could just take this on faith. You need to do great things with this excellent blessing of a life you have. You need to start thanking God right now. You got 10 fingers and 10 toes and you're not locked in a fucking box being fed drugs that fucking make you not know what the fuck time of day it is or what year or what fucking president or what your past is, and you start actually losing memories and everything's all fucked up and confused and you have Jason Bourne syndrome and you're just walking around with fucking question marks plaguing you like fuck. All right, you just need, and some of you do, and some of you think you know shit and you don't. And some of you think you could say, oh, here's a criticism I got off the last one. Just say, oh, did you really see a person be burned alive? Yeah, I did. Did you really see a fucking genitals get eaten? I have the video on my phone. You can see it too. You know what I'm saying? So because fucking where I come from, friends send me this shit. This is what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, where you know, you have strings that are fucking stuck. Yeah, I have a pot. But you can, based on your choices and your self-development level. Okay? It's not what, how, it's who. It's who. It's who's gonna do the valiant fucking thing. It's who's gonna slay the dragon. All right? He'll figure out how. But the non-who, forget the rest of the fucking questions. So it's your experience level, it's your self-development level. And listen, you need to be honest. It's your honesty level. Like, for example, if you're a young person and you get around an old schooler who's got a motherfucking pedigree longer than you are tall, you know what I'm saying? If you wrote it all out, and you are disrespectful, man, that is a baby basic shit test that you haven't passed. Everything is a test. I repeat, everything is a test. I repeat, everything is a test. Angels also are, now, you know, you can call me crazy, but I fucking know. How about that? And I got experience, and I got all kinds of people can say they know. I'm saying I know right now that there is angels watching us from above, and they're fucking giving us opportunities, and they're playing a part in our endeavors if we earn their fucking respect, which is not easy. Which is getting up early, and listen, I come from Breaking Bad, yo. I am the motherfucking dude. People will tell you I am way more ballsy than any of the motherfucking characters in that show. I have done way more fucking ridiculous shit than is on that. Well, I don't know. There was some machine gun fucking explosion scene, something. I don't remember. I didn't want to watch it because I saw right away. I just looked up the fucking things because I saw the kidnappers of my kid were obsessed with that Sons of Anarchy show. So I looked it up and saw that they made a fake city, Charming, California, a fake city for this show so they didn't shit on a place. But Breaking Bad, they didn't make a fake city. They fucking shit on Albuquerque, and we were secret ninjas like nobody knew. Albuquerque, there's some Bugs Bunny reference, but we really didn't exist. And we liked that shit, and we had a very special culture there that is now gone, fucking 100%. And you know, but some strong vessels of fucking you know, some of us have taken that culture and represented it around the world with no fail. 505 till we die. No, but you know, some of us are hard to change, and but we get better. But listen, that's the thing. Hard. We all need to be hard, but hard enough to do the self-development, and then have an open mind and advanced features. You know what I mean? Hard with advanced features. High-level operators. You know what I mean? You put the fucking bronze on yourself. You know what I mean? The hardest guys, David Goggins, Wes Watson, all these guys, they put the hard on themselves. You know? If you need somebody to put the hard on you, which most people do in the beginning, Brandon Angel Fitness on Instagram. But BrandonAngelFitness.com. And so this is a dynamic life. We have so much potential. You can do so much with your time. It really helps to have an example that shows you that, you know. In my daughter Mimi's case, everybody that knows me is like, wow, what a fucking horrible loss for that kid, because she could learn to move through life like fucking nobody else, you know. But unfortunately, a low-level life form, the exact Amber Heard's copy, 50 Cent's oldest son's copy, mother's copy, These people, yes, she burned that fucking house down. Yes, I looked at the reviews. I mean, yes, you can see the programming all over that fucking kid. And what he has to do is humble himself and realize that he actually doesn't know shit. And what he does know is actually fucking scientifically bullshit. And he needs to get rid of that out of his fucking head. And then he needs to go, out of respect for his dad, find someone exactly like his dad and hang out with them for fucking 3 months and make all the baby bullshit fucking step mistakes with that motherfucker. And then come say that. Like, I went and hung out with this guy for 3 months. He's the most like you that was willing to do this so that I could prepare to hang out with you. I'm coming to you humbly with an open mind and realization that my head was full of bullshit of you, and I'm doing my best to clean that out. I really want my relationship with you. Your dad is 50 Cent. The fact that hasn't happened yet is fucking amazing. And that's the same thing with me. This kid could find out from her fucking dad, or from my dad, from so many different people I put her in contact with, who her dad really is, you know? And she's in definitely absolute safety with me, no danger. And I won't fucking lie to her, ever. You know? I won't fucking lie to... Listen, I will lie to you 1,000% because I don't respect you. So I'm smoke screening you. I think you're a pig. I think, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm lying to you, it's 100% because you're not my people. You're fucking a pawn to be used. I'm playing you. I don't want you to know the real information specifically. Okay? You know? Anyone in my inner circle that I love, I'm never gonna fucking lie to them. There is no lies in love. That's not love. That's fucking used. That's abuse. That's manipulate. It's a fucking... Dude, they're following. And the singer, John Rich, that Tucker Carlson just interviewed, that made that new song Revelation, he said it, man. He's just like, they are following the father of darkness that fast. They're following their father. They're following their king. You're going to be an honest person who helps other people and cheers at their success, or you're going to be a small, jealous-minded piece of shit that tries to fuck up other people, causes division, conflict, and war and drama, and is a master of deception. You're going to be one or the other. And I fucking hope you pick wisely. That's it. And it's going to be the weak that fails to pick wisely. 1,000%. It is not fucking... It's easy to put, you know, just like the criminal... synonym or whatever, right? Like analogy is you know, it's easy to pull the trigger. We're seeing it, you know. What's hard is to be diplomatic. What's hard is to fucking rise above. What's hard is to find a way to get on top of your feelings instead of having your feelings on top of you controlling fucking what's going on. We'll live in a literal illogical world should that fucking be the case. And we might just be identifying the root of the illogical world we live in right now. You know what I mean? Being that motherfuckers are weak. They're weak. And they want to band together with other weak motherfuckers and control everybody. You know, and the valiant dudes who do the work, who do the push-ups, who do all of it. Those are the ones we need to get behind. Support them. Don't hate on them, you fucking punk. Damn, you know what I mean? So whatever. Definitely punks over here. Valiant motherfuckers over here. Check it out. You get a little dose of the Panama culture. I'm in the mountains. And this is some of the last of the cloud forest. Home to the fer-de-lance. We just knocked out a 13-foot one the other day. And great community. I really feel blessed to be a part of this community and to be respected by this community. And I went through the hardest times of my life here. And so I'll tell you about that real fast. So I got down here to Panama because I escaped Albuquerque like a ninja, right? Nobody knew where I had gone. I didn't really want to tell anyone just because I didn't want some enemy fucking calling up saying some dumb shit to the military and fucking with me while I was in it, you know? Same reason I didn't go become a SEAL. It's because I was worried about any kind of security clearance investigation that they do. They will definitely do a security clearance. I figured out that they do a full-scale walk around that town, pay an investigator, all that shit, right? To go check all, previous residences, friends, all that. And and since my mother set me up to be affiliated, by locking me up, she just affiliated me with all these different fucking groups and shit, And then, they do so much paperwork when you're fucking locked up. It's just amazing how it's a revolving door system. They just want to load you up with enough shit to fucking convince a judge to send you back, And anyway, so I had escaped with the United States Navy, and that's a story. That is a story. We were under investigation. I had identified several investigators at that point myself, and 2 investigators, excuse me. Listen, let me try to be. So I thought this call was another one, and somehow, man, he had this number. There was a pitch number. I had only had it for like 2 weeks, and he thought I was somebody else. But I didn't miss. I thought, that I'm just thinking he's an investigator, acting weird or whatever. He says he's this Navy recruiter. He wants to talk to me. So I told him, all right, well, let's meet at this Blake Slaughterburger right here, which I could just look out my balcony from with these binoculars and see who pulls up. So I did. And fucking white government plates. He gets out a full Navy uniform. I was like, oh fuck. And I have a kid on the way. I'm just finding out, My kids, I didn't want to talk. When she told me that she was pregnant, I was like, you're full of shit. Because I knew she was a fucking liar at that point. I saw all her lies. She cheated on me with the 9-year boyfriend of her twin sister. Like, they were together forever. I remember from the old hood. And then the sister gets like, anyway, you don't see who you're dealing with? Who? You need to see who. Anyway. So I told her, just stay the fuck, whatever, click. She had showed up at my apartment unannounced. 2 months, I hadn't seen her for months, you know what I mean? I'm just like, fuck, I had another roommate, he could tell you, he was there. She set it up and then started flirting with this other guy, comes over and she started flirting with him, asking to see his back and shit, and it was crazy, dude. Anyway, I didn't have an image or an idea of a Jerry Springer person of this level ever in my mind. Like, everyone I was dealing with on a day-to-day was very high level. And so I didn't even know people like this existed. Like, everything was so surprising to me. And I was like, wow, this must be how my mom, I remember having those thoughts. Lo and behold, I tell her I don't want to fuck you, you liar, click, trying to trap me, bitch. I was a club owner. I'm telling you, man, I was a famous. She was after me because of who I was, right? And I was definitely an iconic person in that era, okay? And everybody saw her drive. She says I was a homeless bum. Actually, she feeds so much bullshit. It's like everything that's true, she just flips it. She just flips it to the opposite worst, and anyway, everybody saw her driving my Lexus around. I had 5 vehicles at the time. She wrecked one of them head on with another car. How you fucking do that, I don't get. But anyway, they didn't award her any money because it was her fault. Hey, stupid fucking, anyway. Drunk. That's how you do that. Drunk. And she was an alcoholic, and she was just a disgusting meth head person. Anyway, and I didn't know. She hid it all from me, you know. I should have known by the... Anyway. So, I was very famous anti-drug. Very famous anti-drug. All right? Even though my partner, who I talk about in the last video, who I'll talk about in the future, is who the Walter White is probably based on, Kenny, DJ Kennesaw, is this guy, right? Was the best meth cook. He was the one who was making like the high quality colored meth that people were actually looking for. So, you know what I mean? That people came and shit on a real town when the other places had fake towns, because this is based on real people and real shit. And I'll give it to you. And I am a real legend from that town. I'm telling you, that's why this fucking crazy psycho was all over me. You know, a couple months before, I had this girl tell me in my club, she's like, if you don't give me $2,500 right now, I'm going to tell everyone you raped me. I was like, well, there's a camera right there, and fucking, I like your style. Maybe we can do something together at some point, but it ain't going to be today, so get the fuck out of my face. And, you know, I had a similar thing with her. Respectful. Just, you know what? Please leave me the fuck alone forever. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, maybe somewhere down the line we could do something, but right now I need to fucking focus on my shit. Fuck off. Anyway, she had already been inventing lies, exaggerating. So she would provoke an incident that I've never had with any other girl, and then fucking exaggerate the fuck out of it, and then play this victim fucking thing and put me in these guilt fucking positions where I would be like bait and switched and fucking controlled. She's a fucking controlling fucking narcissist piece of shit. Johnny Depp education was priceless to me, and I have the same thing to say. You realize you're with your mother, and I have the same thing to say, that you know what I mean? Like, this is you know, this is meant to destroy. Imagine she had a kid with him. That's what I'm going through. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going through right now. Fuck what I'm going through. That's what the kid is going through. That's what the kid is going through. And now watching a kid be abused and being able to do something about it, that's one thing. Watching a kid being abused over years and years and years, and you can't do anything about it, and you know it's straight emotional fucking physiological abuse of the worst kind, and all the details from the specialist of how extremely damaging it is, more than any other child abuse, in measured result. Man, you're fucking, dude, yeah, you know, I had never taken sleeping pills, never touched a hard drug. Before that, fuck, man, you lose your kid, and then their connection to you has been cut and cauterized and witchcrafted to never rejoin, as at age 10 when you're their biggest hero. Well, I'd like to say I was, you know, I could run through anything at that time. I would say that, but that was a chink in my armor. And I didn't heal for about 9 years. And I lived in the jungle for 4.5, 5 of those. And then the nutritional diversity diet, nutritionaldiversity.com, kind of saved my life. I don't know how it came to me, but I definitely needed 20 times the nutrition that the normal man is getting right now to get up, you know, at that time. So it's a wonder to me, for sure. And nobody else gets that idea. And you fucking go through pressure, and that's how you get diamonds. And this is just a piece of information, but I swear it was downloaded to me. Just like fucking Jim Rich's song. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, I didn't write that. You know, John Rich, Revelation. I didn't write that, you know? So it's like, all right, so kids who have been alienated, if your dad tries to step back into the situation, the threat is against you. He's already knows he's not going to win. There's so many ways they can make it. Like, what are you going to do? For me, you can look up on the Philadelphia tax system right now. A Lincoln Presidential, a Toyota truck, a Dodge van, another truck, I think it was a Chevy, 2 motorcycles, 15-something Bouvier Street, 15-something Bouvier Street, 20-something Sydenham. I had a mind crack. But I have the documents for all these buildings. One of those 15 Bouviers was a 2-unit. So we're talking about 4 units. Also, a West Philly home. I had put in a $10,000 studio for some talented kids that had graduated from this special live together college thing. They had a real tight bond, and I saw it like the bond I saw that me and my homies had in ALBUQUERQUE, and so I wanted to support them. You know, I was a new Christian, and because when I found out I was having a kid, I got baptized, joined the military, and popped, right? And long story short, Greg Jackson, the #1 coach in the UFC, and several other icons in Albuquerque were the ones who signed my recommendation letters, and got a judge to stamp close my record of my childhood, anything, based on the fact that my mother put me in the system to make money off of my head. And had me fucking, that's why, right? So and you know, and I did, and to shelter my mom, I didn't tell her about all that shit, but the recruiters know. You know, I said this whole fucking, all this shit you're looking at is because my mother put me at a very young age into the judicial system, basically. You know what I mean? Where everybody that was with me was not everybody. There were other kids like me that were fucking just totally innocent. But we were in there with dudes who were recommended out of facilities to there. It was a big thing, you know what I mean? So a lot of them were there on judicial constraint. You know what I mean? So listen, man, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, whether you're fucking locked up or you're not, you're in a gang. You're affiliated with fucking 2 or 3 gangs, you know what I mean? Minimum. So, according to them. And, so they do that. They did that to everybody. Everybody from Albuquerque has got some fucking affiliation that could be dug up like that. But I actually had a fucking judge put a reason why that shouldn't apply to me. So, and I got recommendations. I went around and got recommendations from big people. I won't say the rest of them, but you know what I mean, that recommended for me. And so, okay, and I can go into the politics real fast. This was right when I was leaving to the military is when Bill Richardson got elected. Bill Richardson is on that Bohemian Grove list. For you crazy people out there, you might like to hear that. And as soon as he came in, man, I was watching from the sidelines, but it wasn't but a few years, and they had a federal investigation and marches in the street and shit because APD, Albuquerque Police Department, was just murdering everybody. They were just shooting fucking right away. And you know, the Breaking Bad show and the Albuquerque Police Department have done to Albuquerque is a crime. Both of them. It is a fucking total crime in the end. I know it's a great show, but I'm just telling you what it did to our culture, what it did to our town. Is nothing good, you know. And it was already a rough place. Yes, it was. That's true. But not like it is now. Now it's a soulless place. Like if you got fucking shot, you had to really do something, you know. I talked in the last video, a guy that worked for me got his head cut off, you know. It was not my decision to be hired, actually. Bobby McMullen and fucking this other little weasel, was fat, roly fucking poly fucking Jewish dude who would fucking lie like every time his mouth was open, tell these fucking totally invented stories. Great imagination. I don't know how the fuck Mr. McMullen, who was a rebel, I'll just tell you, the Ice House had the mayor and the fucking council, the city council people all bent over by cops that were monkeys, raping them. It was a fucking fantastic piece of art. And he commissioned that mural. I forget who the artist was that did it, but man, that was an impressive piece of art. And that was the side of the Ice House. I mean, he was a true rebel. There were qualities about him. I told you in the last video about his genitalia operation, just different things, right? And how he was kind of an organized crime figure. He was, you know. But he had this fucking weirdo working for him. He had a lot of weirdos working for him, but not just this one. They were all pretty fucking, they were lackey, bitch ass, lying. They weren't tough. They had to act real fucking tough, though. Let me tell you. And tell fucking a million stories a minute. Especially if a real tough person comes around. Oh, now they got to put that fucking... They got to prove themselves with all this bullshit that we could see from a mile away, even fucking 5 years younger than them. And so... Anyway, this guy hired Joey, and then, you know, I had to fucking constantly, like, talk to him about his little backdoor bullshit. Anyway, everybody was on the hustle. Joey was a meth head. All those guys were fucking meth addicts, actually. And that was my problem with them. And he would open his fucking mouth and say stupid shit around the wrong people. I know exactly why he got his head cut off, even though I don't know exactly why. You know, it's who. You can see it fucking coming on people. You know, they just don't know how to move. They just don't have that level of intellect that's going to get them through. You know, and the fucking taller the grass, the more skills you need and the more tools you need. You know what I mean? If that shit's not grass anymore and it's jungle, you're not moving without a fucking machete, without the tools. You know, so anyway, I can give you some analogies for a lot of stuff as we go on to try to just you know, I think over explaining comes from ego when someone's doing that, but in this particular cases, I think that to break it down is needed, right? So your kid's kidnapped from you, and you're destroyed for a chapter. That's what the intention is. That's what was intended to happen. They can't do it. There's no reason to do that. There's no reason to do that. The reason to do that is they want to destroy the dad, you know? That's the reason. And so they make up a bullshit reason that they're the victim of. This is narcissistic pattern. Please see Kia Carlberg's genius work. She's the sweetest scientist. You can see her information at anti-narcissism.org. And anti-narcissism.org. And this is brilliant stuff. And and to be able to identify, like I said, the discernment between good and honest and dishonest people, good and bad people, is the number one skill. It's a valuable skill. You know, every human being should be looking at every kind of lie detection video, should be learning how to pressure and investigate and get diverse sources. There's incredibly good liars out there. You will never be able to tell I'm learning, you know. And I know people in my life right now, I question what they say and I can't really determine whether it's real or not. So I just don't buckle down, you know. No child is going to be weaponized against their other parent unless they haven't been fucking magnetized, groomed, and abused, you know. And they're not going to be disrespectful to their parent unless there is something going on that makes them disrespectful of that parent, something legitimate or something implanted by the parent. The way that you know first is contact denial. Why is this person denied contact? Oh, really? Is that true? Let me talk to him first. Now let me talk to other people that know the situation. And if these two people have two totally different stories, that's very common. However, to deny contact is child abuse. To deny contact is child abuse. To deny contact is child abuse, and when they deny contact, they are fucking doing that. And now that there's no response, there's no reality, and they have full control over this life form, not enablement, not support, control over this life form, they're going to weaponize it to fucking never trust a trustworthy person, and to always trust a not trustworthy person, causing them to fall in every pit hole and miss every opportunity to be backwards and obviously sick in so many ways, to be definitely disrespectful of what they should be very respectful of, and to be very respectful of what they should be they should be very disrespectful of. Make no doubt about it, if you are a flying monkey, you are part of the disaster the witch causes. Make no doubt about it, if you stand by and don't speak against and don't investigate and don't find out what's really going on and just blindly become recruited to a kidnapping, child abuse situation, it couldn't have happened without you. You know, if you've participated in that side of things, then if you participated in that side of things, you're in that side of things. You know what I mean? And remaining neutral is standing there while child abuse is going on. So we know what you are, whatever you are. And you will see, and yeah, if I know that you are someone who stands by child abuse, if I know that you are part of child abuse, if I know that you are the fucking initiator of child abuse, holy fuck. I mean, you'll be lucky if I don't fucking cut your head off and kick it around this field right here for a couple weeks. You know what I mean? I don't put up with fucking child abuse at all. That is not okay. Kids deserve to get to their fucking damn adulthood without being fucking bullshitted like this, without being played like this, without being fucking robbed like this of the true experience with the true parent that will truly enable them, that truly loves them, that truly served in the military for them, made 500 videos for them in the face of lies. You know what I mean? Fucking deadbeat my motherfucking ass. You know what I mean? Deadbeat fucking lucky. You know, all these people, the fucking grandfather, the grandmother, the fucking sister, the brother, all these people are lucky to be alive. My mother, you know, out in the fucking jungle, they would be gone. And I would fucking be the one to do it, for sure. So I'm easy to frame for all this bullshit that doesn't happen. And they already use all my reactions to kidnapping as an excuse for the kidnapping. How the fuck does that work? I didn't go around this lying bitch for 8 years because I knew she was a lying bitch. And then all of a sudden, I'm a fucking beat her anyway. Who? Every other ex-girlfriend will tell you that I'm actually not. Except for one fucking drunk chick that fucking was actually hit me in the head with a full beer can in her purse, boom, in front of the fucking Patricia Young's house. Patricia would have mopped her if she'd have been outside. She would have got her ass beat the fuck down. All I did was choke her the fuck out because she was freaking. This is a jiu-jitsu choke, carotid arteries, I didn't want her to break my friend's shit. I didn't want her to fucking bust my fucking head open with the thing, you know? She had already hit me with the beer. All I did was a carotid artery choke. I've done 1,000 times. It goes on jiu-jitsu mats around the world fucking billions of times right now, this second as we speak. No one's neck is broken. No one's fucking got any lasting damage whatsoever. And yes, I am a pro at applying it. Our fucking people, I bounced at a bar in Virginia. Everybody who worked there, including one of the people who made a video for my daughter. and yeah. So, anyway, so back to this parental alienation thing here. You just truly have to be able to assess these kids. We need all of you out there. When you see these kids, they're all over the fucking place. There's 50 million of them. You need to get, because they're going to get ridden to the ground. Look at Anti-Alienation Project, such valuable work. Anti-Alienation Project, Instagram, YouTube, okay? Maddie. Look at all the women she's interviewing. Petra Dieter's another one. She went through this and became a PhD specialist. Has interviewed a lot of adult children of alienation. They're all 49, 50 fucking 5 when they figure this out, and they still don't have it all figured out. I knew that my mother was a lying kid using piece of shit that was just taking fucking dudes to the fucking cleaners and getting massages 3 times a week and watching fucking movies and eating pot. Just a piece of shit and a liar and fucking able to do that. How are you able to do that? Never took me anywhere except a fucking incarceration facility. Anyway, so check this shit out. I knew she was a lying piece of shit when I was very young, and I said, whatever that is, I am not going to be that. And I ran to the other side of the polar spiritual energetic spectrum, and I got with some of the toughest guys. I still love and respect them all the way to today. And we still are in touch, you know? And I could have fell in all kinds of fucking horrors and shit. And so many people in my situation did. And most of those kids that were locked up with me are still locked up today. So, you know, and I'm coming to you from fucking Panama. And so it's like, and I'm not going back to the States. And I am an honorably served veteran. 5.0 across the board, was accommodated by my strike group admiral in the fucking Persian Gulf in front of fucking the whole command. Thank you, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? This bitch couldn't fucking do anything. She's done a masterpiece of child abuse. She's done a masterpiece of child abuse. And everybody remembers her. And everybody was telling me, why the fuck are you with her? And I was with my soul. As I told you in the last episode, I was with my soulmate. And then this fucking devil came to play tricks on me. Anti-narcissism.org. Know this shit, man. It will save your life. There's a page in the blog session, 63 things about a narcissist in parentheses important. Fucking read that shit too. Read the fucking, it's a 15-minute web, read the whole thing. It will make you fucking powerful enough to save lives. All right? And these kids, they will get ridden. They're just going to get fucked over by this fuckover person. This piece of shit worm. This who that you just really don't want in your life. Okay? They're going to get fucked over. They're going to get ridden. They're going to be in a codependent fucking I owe this person. See, what the parents do is they make the poor child fucking super loyal to them and that they owe them. Look at 50 Cent's. And 50 Cent says that is her mother's, his mother's, he is her child. He will go to war against me on bullshit for her. Okay? All right? And so you're being used and you have to figure it out, man. And you could do it in record time like Maddie from Anti-Alienation Project. And you know, I've been fighting and fighting. I've told all truths. I made 300 videos of the truth. They came and stalked them, the whole family. She showed them to her mom. Or her mom probably stalked them on her own. Anyway, maybe they watched them, maybe they didn't. I fucking told the truth. I did my job. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a stupid knucklehead? 50 Cent's kid, my kid? That's you. That's you. I'm doing what I got to do. and now I'm moving on too, you know. But I'm gonna drop how this shit goes, you know what I mean? You are living in the image of a fucking lame, and it's all over you, and we can all see it, and it's a tragic, unfortunate situation that you can rise above, like Maddie did. You know what I mean? But there's one truth here, man, and then there's a million versions of bullshit, and they'll just keep sliding as many versions as they can sell on you because you settle for less and you have no standards, and you're gonna end up just like them. Or you're gonna be like me and galvanize yourself against that behavior. And you don't have to fucking hate them or whatever, but you gotta put them in their place, or you're not helping them. If you cater to their toxicity, how's it gonna change? It's not. And then, so what I'm telling you is, but these kids, they're brainwashed every fucking day by a mastermind of fucking scam artist. And they they can't figure it out, and they go attack their good parent even, and they say all this hurtful fucking bullshit, total bullshit, and they stop actually deserving that parent. They fucking fall out of deservingness. There's one truth and a bunch of bullshit. Truth is they fall out of actual deservingness to have this parent, right? And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, because then now it's a universal truth. It's a universal reality that these things are an issue. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's a super unfortunate situation. And for me, it's really unfortunate because, and I want to try to give the alienated adult children of alienation something here. It's really unfortunate because you're looking at this kid who is living a lie. They have been opted out of their own destiny. They have been taken off the track of reality and placed over here so far that it seems impossible. How could they ever assemble any idea that's close to what their true destiny calling is going to be? So you're shouting to them, get on the solo mission. You, God, nature, right? Get out of the crutch. But then that mom is sitting there riding them. How could you go visit him after everything he said? That's true. How could you leave me after everything I've done for you? I need you to split the rent of this mortgage. I need you for the expense. You know, how can you leave? I need you. I was there for you here. I was there for... So you have this guilt trip fucking manipulator who's already guilty of a decade of child abuse, and we're going to continue to ride out like that? It is the most damning fucking thing, man. You know what I mean? And then we're going to expect that it's not going to take 5, 6, 7, 10 years for this child to recuperate trust in their own system of assessment and where they're going in life. That fucking paranoia, and it's just a wealth of things not to be dealt with. And then let's consider, because see, I think in my kid's case, and I find out now in Maddie's case, therapists and specialists, my mother is a licensed social worker, get involved in this and fuck it up because they're fucking sick pieces of shit too. You know, sick pieces of shit have kids, and sick pieces of shit have licenses. They're out there. You know, we fucking find them all the time. And when we do, it's our job to handle business. You know, but in this case, you can't handle business. Everybody around this kid is responsible. If you're not speaking out left and right, there's already 10 documentaries about how the system helps this rather than does what it needs to do. So it's on you. It's on human culture. It's good men who stand up to evil and do not let it prevail. That's what it is. And if that's not what you are, just know that, yeah, definitely You know, you can enjoy my stories and all that, but we're two totally different types of people. Don't think you relate with me. And no one, I had a girl, an ex-girlfriend of my friend in Albuquerque. She calls me, she says, fuck, I need to come down there with you. I'm like, all right. She shows up with the kid. And then I'm like, at one point I started realizing, I was like, oh, fuck no. This is a true story. I was like, oh, fuck no. Do you realize my kid's being kidnapped from me? I was like, I want to see that kid talk to her fucking dad. She left. She wasn't going to put me on she wasn't going to let me see that kid talk to her dad. She had kidnapped the fucking kid and brought her. Then, of course, she goes back to Albuquerque and talks all this shit about how I'm this and that and the other fucking thing. With all lies. So that's what I'm saying, man. You got to be real fucking careful who you listen to, what you believe. You got to trust but verify. If you don't know, you don't know. And if you say you do know, I want you to remember that you said you did know, because everybody else that heard that remembers. And they're not happy. And and I don't blame them. So now I'm living in Panama. I got a fucking nice place at the beach. I got a nice place up here in the mountains. It's a chill place. Lots of dog homies in each one. You know, some velociraptors, my super chickens. You want to check them out? I'll show you the super chickens. And I mean, I do well. I do all right again. I've recovered. You know, they still stalk me. Last Christmas was the last one. And she's always trying to recruit everybody. She stalked my ex-girlfriend that's mentioned in the cutoff letter. She stalked everybody I know. Pretty religiously. And every couple of years, even though they tell her to fuck off, you stupid bitch, I know the guy. You can't lie to me about him. She'll make another attempt to fucking try to, you know. And there is a hard drive with tons of stalking evidence on it right now at a digital specialist. You know, that they say 100% they'll be able to restore the files. But it's going to cost 2 G's because it has to be a platter extraction. It was in a storage unit for too long. And an insect fucking thing. I mean, there's been so much black magic all over this whole thing. And there's a photo of this family. I don't know much about them. They don't know much about me, including my mom. I've kept definitely those people at very lengths from anything I'm actually doing, right? And I've had to run a fucking false social media and website array just to distract them from what I really do this whole time. It's ridiculous, the extra shit you have to go through when you have this level of insane, obsessed stalker. So I can guarantee you right now that if this person, because me, I don't want nothing to do with this bitch. I don't even want to look at her, think about her, nothing. Just, you know, I'll respect her time with the kid. She respects mine. That's all I ever said. I don't want to know about her time with the kid. She doesn't need to know about mine. You know what I mean? That's all I ever fucking said, you know, but no. So that's what I'm telling you. If they have denied contact, they're a child abuser. If they unilaterally deny contact, if the man commits a crime of child abuse, making him dangerous for the child, that's a legal matter. And he should be persecuted for that, for sure. Outside of that, she can't fucking decide shit and lock him out of the country and then have a fucking hearing in his absence and fucking, or while he's deployed, sending her $1,000 a month, fucking go to a judge. The first kidnapping was, I was in the Persian Gulf deployed, sending her $1,000 a month. Not only were they harassing my command, my mom and her together, but they were demanding more money from me, living with her parents in Virginia, getting $1,000 from me. And she went to a judge and said, I don't know where he is, and got full custody. Stole full custody. And told me, you don't have rights. While I was deployed. And we were under the gun, that fucking deployment. It was extended 4 months. So, yeah, right here, actually, I have a big white Tundra on my badass motorcycle. But I had gotten her this car right here. This is hers. It's just been parked with a tarp. But I fixed it up, brake system, all that badass fucking Nissan Patrol. This model they use for the ambulance and the rescue vehicle and all that. So my little battle puppy doesn't want to stop training. But so yeah, these are my Velociraptors out here. And they produce, these will kick the living hell out of any chicken you've ever eaten. I've been working on these guys for a few generations now. And the eggs are like, you know, I'm not playing. You know, I take my life real seriously. I live by an honor code. You know, I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't steal, I really don't. I believe there's angels watching from above. And the most important thing to me is that I get my wings of Valhalla. And speaking of knowing shit, as I said before, I know that there is a spiritual side. My uncle contacted me after he was murdered. I came down here to Panama to get my uncle's body. He was murdered by a murderer who said that when he lost his kids in family court, he changed. And then he went on a killing spree and killed 5 people, all angels according to their friends. And when he was, because of those murders, I was locked down here rather than locked in a jail cell when the false accusations and false bullshit was put on me. And I'm just showing you exactly where I'm at, because whoever sees this can know that I think anyone associated with anyone who wants to hurt me is like a total bitch, you know what I mean? And so that's what I think of you, to the point where, check it out, to the point where I'm sure if anyone wants to come down to this particular area, you're gonna fucking get what you're asking for. And you know, so yes, I live a hard life. Yes, I'm a hard character. Yes, I tell the truth. Yes, I do give real love. Oh, I give real love, man. I don't like bullshit love. I can't stand that. You know, all these people who use love as a way to trap men and make money instead of doing some beautiful art that they are totally capable of doing, you know, that the world needs them to do, is highly unfortunate. I try not to support it. You know, my life was saved. I started telling you the story at the beginning of this video. My life was totally saved here. When I was cut off from my kid and I fell out those 2 weeks, I didn't eat. I did not just piss, I didn't eat. I didn't drink. And my throat was so dry that when this girl was hitting the door with rocks, it was pouring down rain, 150 missed calls on my phone, screaming at the neighbors, something happened with him. I know something happened with him. And so they're pulling me out. My throat was so dry I couldn't even bring air into my lungs. The only thought I had was, you are seconds from dying. I had lost 50 pounds. I came out of that room and the fucking owners of the apartment I just saw 2 weeks earlier said that they almost didn't they almost thought I was a different person that they were. And so to have your life saved by someone is fucking heavy, I'll tell you that. You know, it's like you owe them your life now. Fuck, you know. And if it's a sick, crazy fucking from the absolute hood, and that's what I'm saying. My kid's mother has actually been stalking and harassing someone who grew up in the size of this bitch's bathroom that's been gifted by some handout off her victim story, right? With two brothers and a dad, all packed in this fucking little ass. I'm talking about total poverty of a whole nother level. And this bitch is fucking harassing her friends, harassing her family, harassing her new husband when she finally gets one 10 years later. And listen, it's textbook and it's obvious. All my ex-girlfriends have recorded themselves saying he's a beautiful guy. He's not violent at all. He's a fucking great dude. I'm still friends with him. I can give her their phone numbers. My dad is a rocket scientist with a security clearance, and he's a great person. She don't want nothing to do with none of us. The person who named her, who's visiting me here in a month, my dad's been here 4 times. And anyway, the person who named her, she don't want to talk to her either. And that Wendy will not fucking lie to anybody. My sister will not lie to anybody. And my dad will not lie to anybody. He's not gonna lie. You know, he's a good dude. And so that's the whole, and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's so easy to figure this out. This is not a hard one. All of the resources are there. But this kid still believes, she's still devoutly, it's 50 Cent's oldest kid. You know what I mean? And how long is it going to go on? You've been lied to. You've been played. Yes, they did get checks. Yes, they did get handouts. Yes, they did lie to their entire family. Here's the lie detector question for my kid's mom. Did you make a fake Facebook using a U.S. Army general, stalk your whole family with it, and make it look like it was him? You know what I mean? I'll take a lie detector I'll take a lie detector. The whole family remembers being stalked by a general Facebook. I'll take a lie detector test. Was it you? And she takes a lie detector test. Was it her? I mean, there's just so many angles here. I already took one lie detector test. She says I pointed a gun at her. I have never. Did you ever in the life of this woman point a gun at her? No. And I didn't. Now, can she take the same test? The MMPI-2 test. Amber Heard trial went down 10 minutes from them. Perfect fucking education on this shit. This 21-year-old, I'm 20 years old. I'm 21 years old. I know. All gassed up on the ego. They got to gas you. Control freaks got to gas up the people that they play on their own egos. Right? Then nobody can fucking set them straight. You know what I mean? They're just, the ego will get you into more trouble than anything. And you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You need to live a true fucking life, man. And so, anyway, so this is the bad breaking aftermath right here. Still going on. And you know, everything I do should have some fucking attempt to save this poor fucking lied to, brainwashed kid that was used as a tool by a piece of shit. It takes a piece of shit to do this. You will not do this to a kid. I would never consider, I wouldn't do anything like this to a kid. And I know my dad wouldn't either, because it's amazing how long it took him to tell me certain shit, like, yeah, your mother's pretty fucking dangerous. Yeah, I saw her do this. Yeah, I saw her do that. What? Fuck, man, you should have told me that way earlier. You know what I mean? But good people don't want to do that. Me? You abuse a kid, I'm fucking calling you out everywhere. You know what I mean? You're lucky if your head's still attached. And that's what that is, you know? Very, very, very lucky, you know? And had I fucking, dude, it's just like, you're lucky someone else didn't detach it. If I'm around another person and I know she's done the vicious amount of shit this bitch has done to my child, fuck me, man. It's going to be hard as hell. Like, I'll have to immediately distance myself from that individual strongly, you know, because if I'm not kicking their fucking head off, I'm a part of it. Straight up, you know what I mean? And I should be reporting them to authorities, and I should be telling that kid, if it's a child adult, if I was around 50 Cent's oldest son, I would be pulling him aside saying, dude, you fucking moron. Your dad is 50 Cent. You need to get your shit straight. You know what I mean? You need to get your facts straight. You have a fucking opportunity here. And that's the thing I'm telling you, these kids, they shut down all the good opportunities and they ride in this fucked up zone that, you know, her mother, my mother, these are fucking 50-year-old secretaries and waitresses. You know what I mean? That have never accomplished shit, but talk like they're the fucking experts of all kinds of dumb shit. And it's all lies, and they know it. Like, could you imagine being a person like that? Fuck no, man. Share this with a young person who's going down the road, because listen, man, me and my boy in Albuquerque with some mother Russia sat down on his mother's couch one day and flipped on that big screen that she had. You know, there wasn't many of those in our crew, and we lit up a J and we noticed this Jerry Springer show, and we're like, where the fuck do they find these people? You know what I mean? Because there wasn't many, that we didn't know anyone except this one, but I didn't know she was that. I didn't know her. I still don't fucking know her or want to know her. I've seen her enough. Anyway, we were like, where the fuck are these people? Man, as the years went on, I started seeing more and more of them, and they were everywhere, right? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, let's all look at this Breaking Bad show in another light here with that thought in mind, you know? Let's start to realize that this parental alienation ain't the only programming that's out there in the world. The control freaks, whether they're parental alienators or governments or whatever, they want you to live a lie and be weaponized by that, because as long as you're there, you're not in your destiny. And if we're all in our natural destinies, I mean, we live lie within a lie, within a lie, within a lie, within a lie. And that's our food supply too. Okay?